Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for signing up to do the extra credit assignment for us to create our resource guide. And thanks so much for your patience. It took me a while to set everything up for each group, but finally we're ready to start inputting the information. So I'm going to sort of walk you through how to go about creating the resource guide. I started writing down directions, but then it just was way too long, and it's much better for me to explain it as you can see the guide too. So hopefully this Zoom recording works. So here I have a sample resource guide. This is a Palmdale one and Spa 2 and Spa 1. So one thing that I did, actually, let's start over here. So one thing that I did, you'll see is if you remember, or at least in one of the classes, I did talk about how this was originally designed to be an Elizabeth House resource guide to help women all across the Southern California area. But we've since pivoted and changed it to an APU Department of Social Work resource guide so that we could distribute this resource guide to agencies across the area, since it has a pretty wide reach and application. So if you scroll through the resource guide I sent you, the template that was set up, it all looks like this. It says up Elizabeth House and it says the city, and then it has the Elizabeth House logo. So the first thing we're going to change is the header. So the header I changed only on the first page, and it says has this header here with the APU Department of Social Work logo. And what we want to see is this same header um, on every page. And I think there are two ways to do this. The first way, which I think is probably the easiest way, is if you see this button right here, it says duplicate page. If you click that, then you'll have, it'll be duplicated. But then what you'll need to do is use this as a template and then change these headers right here. So here it says community resource, but then if you're doing a food resource think you'll have to change that. I think another way to do it is to just copy and paste. So you click that, you copy, you delete that, and you paste it. And if you paste it, it'll automatically paste it in the exact area where it needs to be. So I copied that. I'm highlighting this, delete and paste. And again, it'll go directly where you want to be. So you want to be careful because here I'm going to show you another example. And I'm not really sure what happened, but I think when the students inputted it, here you can see it looks like the standard header. But then I think in some of the pasting, some of the font changed. So you can delete that, copy this, and paste this here, and it should go in the right direction. Um, Here again, you can see the here as another example. So you just want to be careful of what the paste is looking like. And on the first page, I put, you may be assigned a city, and then I changed it to like a spa, which is a service planning area. So don't delete that. Each of the cities belong to a different service planning area. So you just want to use the language that's up here. And then next, one thing I want to walk you through is you can see that the pages are sort of color coded. So this is the Upland Area Resource Guide, and it's blue. This is the Palmdale Area Resource Guide, and it's this yellow. So each city has its separate color. So you don't need to worry about that because your color has already been assigned to you. But when we compile everything into a booklet, then you'll see, it's an easy way for people to determine, geographic area just because of the color of the background. Another thing I want to show you is that each of the resource headings, each page, or yeah, each of the resource headings are different. So this one is community resource. This one is food resource, basic needs, mental health, public programs, childcare, employment, child. Oh, that's an error. You can delete that one. Childcare resources. We want all childcare stuff to be in um, the same header. healthcare, substance use, housing, supportive services, legal, transportation. So those are the categories. So you want to be able to copy and paste, if this is where your resource is, you want to copy and paste so that it belongs to the right header. So one thing about the community resource header, community resource refers to those nonprofits that kind of provide a lot of things. Like you can't really divide it into like mental health or public programs or childcare. It really is sort of like a more like community-based, larger nonprofit resource area. So that'll be in the community resource section. Another thing, we are not going to paste every header that we see here in this section here. The only things we're going to include are the name followed by the description, then the eligibility, then the requirements, which is basically the same thing as um, application process. Um, Oh, and then, I took out wait time, but if we're just not going to put wait time because that's something I think that changes. But if it's relevant, then you may want to put something, right? So if it's like Section 8 and you know for a fact it's going to, well, if there's something where you know for a fact it's going to take a year, then maybe you can put that under requirements, but you don't have to worry about the wait time. So requirements, again, is the same thing as application process. And then the contact information, which is going to be the phone number, the address, the days and hours of operation, and the website. Um, if you can, for the website, you can hyperlink it. So what you do is you copy the link, you click on this link that says hyperlink, and you input it in, and then it becomes underlined. That way, if someone has the PDF version of this, they can hover it over and it'll take you to the link. Another thing is you can sort of change the sizing so that it matches in case you have too much space. And then of course you can make it bigger, but then that means you would have to move these things. So Canvas is but you want to be careful just because Canvas can be a little finicky. If you're really uncomfortable with it, don't worry about it. I don't want it to mess up all the formatting. And so how you divide this among group members can be up to you. I mean, here, if I'm looking at San Bernardino, then uh, then you can sort of divide it based on, however many people are in your group, and then people can slot it into into the correct category. Another thing that I recommend is that you create your own copy. And so what you would do for that is you would go to File and then make a copy. And that way it's your own copy for students to work on alone. And then at the end, I mean, it's up to you how you want to put it all together, but basically you don't want to have any extra boxes. So let's say for whatever reason, you have 7 community resources and this is number 6. And so you want to delete these 3. And then here you would write food resources and have the food resources follow after that. So essentially we were hoping not to have any empty boxes or too many blank spaces. Um, let's see. I think that's basically it. Remember to do the headers. And so I'm going to walk you through this one. This is one that some students have already been working on. And see, I'm just going to point some things out. So I can see here that eligibility and requirements are together. Um, I'll leave that up to you. I mean, it's ideal if it's separate, but I think it's better if it is in a separate category. I can see the student sort of put it together. And remember, we are not putting enrollment period. So I'm gonna delete that and then put that under requirements. So you can see how the eligibility, this would be the eligibility, and then this would be the requirements. And then again, you want to make a hyperlink here. And that turns into a link. I think it's better if the contact information is on separate lines like this. Like here, it was sort of all together. So you want to make sure, I think it just looks better if it's on separate lines and easier to follow. Let's see. Yeah, just be careful of little things like this is all capitalized. You want to make sure that there's just consistent formatting. And so sometimes when you copy and paste from maybe a student in here made everything capitalized, but that just requires a little bit of uh, editing in order to take that. And remember, we're not going to do enrollment period. Um, and then for some things, I'm not requiring it, but it would be helpful because there are a lot of resources that are missing a lot of things or it's just confusing. And so I trust you guys to do the editing that's needed to make it clear. I didn't make all those edits as I was grading. It was just too many, but I can tell you that there were a lot of things that I think could be changed and could be edited. So I think this is fine. Here's another thing. I wouldn't do anything with people's names because that is likely changing with time. So um, Uh, yeah, again, this is a little confused. This, like the address, I'll have to look into it to see what that means. Um, okay, no enrollment period. Let's see. That looks, and then the address you probably want on one line. Um, okay. So again, this is something where you want to make kind of fix the formatting for that. And so, yeah, I'm just sort of going through this so you can see how I'm going to edit it. Here's another example where you want to have all the capitalization. So that's what it is, just a bunch of copying and pasting, a little tiny bit of editing. And once it's done, just make sure it's on one document. And it either could be your new document or it could be my original document that I shared with you. Whatever the case, whatever final document you have, make sure that I'm on it. And so the way that you add me is you press the plus sign and you can add um, my name here. By the way, my Canva email, I don't use my APU email. I use because I have a personal pro account. And my Canva email, if you do add my email, is Marandbry, MARANDBRY @gmail.com. So if you add my email, that's the one that I'd like for you to add. So I think that's it. Hopefully, I've never done this before. I hope, it works out. I'm really excited because again, I think what we are offering, this thing that we're creating, this amazing resource guide for Southern California, I've never seen anything like this. So just know that the work you're doing is going to be incredibly helpful. I thank you so much, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye.